there.
Yeah, but this is for the VOD viewers.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Wait, this one's for the YouTube homies.
Hi,
You know what
YouTube.
always gets me? Have you ever like wanted to watch a VOD on Twitch that like 1 in a million time? You're like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this VOD, and they're like, bang, subscribers only. And you're like, come on, really?
Yeah.
I wanted to watch
they
this
do that
one.
so their VODs don't get DMCA'd or something. That used to be a thing. I don't know if it still is.
Oh, I just figured they want that money.
I think it depends. I think some people are on it for the money. Like, there's a couple league creators that I know definitely have it set up just so that they drive
That's
more
wild. No
subscribers.
one even watches VODs.
Yeah, imagine.
That's crazy.
Some people do. It happens.
I have to watch my own
VODs every
VOD
now and
sometimes,
then.
and I hate it. I'm like, oh,
It's funny when I'm streaming and like someone will come in. It's like, oh, I caught your VOD from the other day, and it's like,
why?
who watches Twitch VODs? That's
No,
wild.
there are people that
And I
have
appreciate
contacted
it,
me
but-
and be like, hey, when you stream, is there any way you could do this? Because I watch all your VODs, but I can't catch it live. And I'm like, bro, like
Interesting.
that's super sick and everything, but like couldn't be me, dude.
I've definitely watched people's VODs before, right? But it's not like a religious thing, and it
Yeah, I
surprises me because I just am always surprised because I don't think that most people go to Twitch for VODs. Right?
Yeah, that's the surprising part. I think the people who watch the VODs are people who like a content creator and use streams as background noise, like a podcast type thing, right?
Yeah.
Because then you just throw the VOD on and you just vibe, doing whatever you're doing, playing your games of League or whatever. But yeah, I do like long form YouTube for that usually.
I might like pull up a VOD to like watch like a certain person play like a certain deck or something. Like
yeah.
like I haven't done that in a long time, but like when I was learning a lot, like that might be something I used to do. That was kind of helpful.
I
See,
did that
that's-
once. I watched.
That's definitely a nicer thing than what I do. I'm like, all right, who's the best at this deck? Hey, you, help me learn this.
Yeah. See, now I can just do that. I at them on Discord. I'm like, bro, help me.
But I prefer the cover of darkness. They don't know I'm learning from them. You know, I know all their secrets, and they don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Take
so when we go
notes.
face to face, they can still beat me anyways because they're
Like I taught you everything you knew.
yeah.
Yes. Speaking of which, how did seasonals go for everyone? Because we missed last week.
Oh, we didn't talk about the
Henneke,
open
what-
rounds even, huh?
Yeah, the open rounds. Henneke, I know how everyone did overall, but like not real. What's the stories? Give me the stories.
I can't
I want to hear the bad beats.
I can't decide if I'm so happy about like my seasonals curse or if I want to just like put my foot through a wall at this point because I can't stop getting top 16, which is great because I can't stop getting top 16, but it's a fucking wall, man.
I'll tell you, Jordan, I broke my seasonals curse. Does not feel very good.
Yours better. Yours is better. I don't know. It was mostly a good run. I had the last round that I got out was pretty rough. It was like all of the mini morphs and the bandle trees and the stun, and it happens, right? And we just got to go to the next one.
Feels bad, but it is what it is.
Yeah, just got to keep it moving.
Okay, now how about you?
You want to go? Oh, I was gonna say you want to go first, Jason, but yeah, Icona goes first. That's fine.
I mean, it went okay. I mean, I liked a couple of my decks. I brought like an Ezreal Shellfolk that kind of let me down. I went like 6-3 in open rounds. I don't know, like a couple of them where I wasn't playing super well. Sometimes I hit bad matchups. Sometimes I just didn't draw very well. It was just a combination of things. I think that I definitely would have changed my lineup, given the chance, or changed at least a lot of cards in there. But yeah, I baited like 5 people into taking my exact lineup, and I don't think any of them did particularly well. It was funny watching the seasonals top 32 because I tuned in. It's like, oh, McIntyre, he's on the live stream. It's like, why is he running my lineup? Who is this? Why is he like literally like 117 of my cards? What is this?
What were the other 2 decks?
So it's Ezreal Shellfolk, Lux Poppy, and Swain Teemo.
I think you were 2/3 of the way there.
I was
Yeah.
one of the fools. I definitely took the bait. We were talking about this before, like Majin was saying, like Teemo Swain, Lux Poppy is a great start to a lineup, but the Ezreal Shellfolk was horrendous for me, and I'm sure everyone else who played the deck also mentioned it. Like it was not doing what it needed to do at all.
I've made some edits to it since, like putting buy back in and a couple other ratioing has like helped out. But yeah, no, it wasn't winning as consistently as I think it needed to be.
I think if you were gonna go in that general direction, you probably just had to bite the bullet and play the nerfed Tri-Beam deck. Like I think
Yeah, that's
probably the
possible.
call.
Like you just play something that because you're beating whatever
You're
it's
poppy
called.
targeting, right?
Poppy, yeah.
You're poppy
If you're
targeting,
poppy
yeah.
targeting, just bring a bunch of freaking flocks.
Yeah. And
What-
I was close to doing that. Like I was building from the point of starting with Teemo Swain, and then I had TFGP in there for a while. Like, but I didn't like that deck that much, and I grabbed Lux Poppy, but like I couldn't decide in time that I wanted to bring the Tri-Beam stuff or settle on like the Bilgewater Flock deck. So I just ended up playing the Ezreal one. But if I had like maybe another couple days, probably would have got there.
I think what surprised me so much about the Swain Teemo Poppy Lux lineup is that like that's probably the best start to like when we were going over okay what decks beat Poppy Zed, those were like the best two that we came up with, and then they also just beat Lee, which was like, wait a second, that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to beat the rally decks and Lee Sin. I couldn't find a third deck that did both, so I had to like give up one or the other. In the Fridge tournament, the Samsung Mobile for this morning, and I choose to give up the good Lee matchup because I was tired of getting rallied, and I wanted my revenge, so I played Sion.
So you were on Scion, Poppy Lux, and Teemo Swain today.
Yeah, felt really good. Really good. Swain Teemo impressed. Just a good deck.
The deck's really strong.
The deck's really good. Yeah. Mecha-Yordle is just like a house, man. That card's nuts. Every time I draw it, I'm like, nice. Like in any matchup at any point in the game, I'm just like,
Yeah. Sweet.
Yay.
Gonna be doing some stuff now.
Yeah.
It's already a very good card, and then when you put it in a deck that has access to Flock and Scorched Earth, it's actually better than both of your champions.
Oh yeah.
You know, Mecha-Yordle, I mean, like, it being a 3/5 is awesome, but the poison darts help all your little, 2-attack shitters just trade up.
Yeah.
It sets up, your blocks. It sets up everything. Like, the card does literally everything you could want it to. It's too insane.
That card needs a nerf. I've been saying that for a long time. Not that it needs a nerf. I've been saying the card is like the best follower in the game, and I still think it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Henneke, you played the same lineup in open rounds. Didn't go so hot. Was it just the Ezreal Shellfolk just dropped the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I hit one bad matchup. I thought like I played my first round and I got a draw. It was like Ez Karma versus Teemo Swain.
You like puff caps or something? What happened?
He killed me with Static Shock and drew puff caps to lead on himself as that happened. And I was like there were like 6 puff caps in his deck, and he drew 3 of them off of one card, and I was like, what the? Anyway,
Nice.
so it was a hilarious game to that end, and then he just was like Thrall's deep as the other 2 decks, and I just couldn't beat that.
Yeah.
And then I lost another round later because like I just couldn't beat the Lux Poppy deck, or sorry, not the Lux Poppy deck, the Poppy Zed deck with Ez Shellfolk. Like I couldn't get there, and I made a couple mistakes, but like at the end of the day, I probably still wouldn't have won the match.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't doing what I really needed it to do at the end of the day.
I think, towards the end of the day, like, I had went in with the idea of targeting Poppy Zed. I did not want to have to ban that. I wanted to go in and beat that shit. But there are so many hands that, like, it doesn't matter how much you're favored, you're just not winning this game, right? Like, sometimes Zed plus, like, 4 buff spells and, like, a couple rallies just beats you. And it's like, oh, well, I threw, like, 5 removal spells at him, but I guess it wasn't enough. Am I just supposed to mini-morph Zed on curve? Like, I don't know. It felt pretty bad. I think targeting Zed Poppy's like, it's a call that I think should be good in the meta. I should be able to beat this. But even even like Teemo Swain, I lost that matchup like twice in seasonals, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This
Sometimes
is supposed to be the free matchup.
their spells just work better. Like they just have the right spells for your spells, and you just die. You're like, okay, well, I Poke Stick, and they range resolve, and you go, dope. All right, like that's the end of the game, I guess.
So there's a question in chat that's asking what happens if you get a draw in seasonals. It's not like you replay the game. You both get a win on that deck.
Really?
So if I needed to beat the Ez Karma, I didn't get to play it again.
Oh.
So because he finished with the deck and I finished with my deck, so I ended up having to play deep versus Lux Poppy or something, and I just couldn't win that.
I've played a game 3 where I drew,
And what happened?
and I just played again.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think game 1, if it's like game 1,
You just both
I
could
guess
win.
game 2 it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work like
No,
that.
because
think
whoever
game two
won would
also
just
gives
win,
you-
right? Whoever was
I think
1-0.
it still gives you 2 Ws in game number 2.
Okay, but
Pretty
then
sure.
you win a set off of a draw. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so you just lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just
That's
don't
so funny.
draw, bro. Unless you're
you
ahead.
can't draw game 2 unless
Just
you
win
won.
game 1, bro. Come
Easy.
on.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
why you're.
wild.
What's your problem? Just win.
Jason, how do you do?
So I was on one of my lineup, the Field Rush, the Lee, and the Rally, and I went 6-3 overall. I think like the lineup at least like made sense, but I just dropped 2 games of Plunder, which I maybe could have won and could have went 8-1 overall. Like overall, I brought Field Rush and Rally sort of last minute, not like 2 decks I was super versed with. But you know, I played Field Rush in the past. I jammed like 50 Poppy games like 2 days before. But overall, I think like relatively uncomfortable with the decks that I threw. Like I sort of made like a mistake in one of the Poppy Z Rally games, where I could have like ghosted my level 1 Z and then rallied, and then it would like level up and then like get ghosted the second time. So like just small things there, here and there, that maybe I wasn't familiar enough with the decks that could have cost me. But overall, like I played into enough enough like of the decks I was trying to counter, and overall I should have done well, but I just didn't. So it's kind of how it goes.
Plunder was pretty notorious for that this weekend.
I mean, Plunder is a very solid deck, and it has some really, really crazy high rolls, both Plunder and Poppy Z, right? So you can go in and target those decks, and you can be, you know, solid 60% into those decks, and you're still going to occasionally lose. But I mean, I think that's true of most of the hard counter lineups, and people don't realize how often 40% is.
Yeah.
40% of the time is quite a reasonable amount that you're supposed to lose that matchup, and that doesn't mean that it's not a counter deck.
Yep. I've been having some success with these like kind of countery lineups. Like I've been leaning harder towards exploiting the meta more in the last couple seasonals, just kind of trying it out, since like it doesn't qualify for Worlds, and the seasons before it was already qualified for Worlds and stuff like that. But I really think the way to go, especially in the open rounds, it's just play the best 3 decks. Every time. Just play the best 3 decks and play them better than your opponent is just like the move.
Yeah, I mean, I played Poppy Z, Thralls, Lisa, and Zoe, and I probably put in about 20-ish, 30-ish games of like prep, and decks were just really, really good. I was 7-1, 7-1, 7-1 going to the last round. Again, if you guys want to talk about trying to break streaks, I'm tired of doing that.
Play ladder.
Yeah, I still have time. I just haven't had time. I'm not particularly great at ladder. Ladder, like getting to the like climbing like all the way to the top is tough.
It's tough.
It's maybe not this last season. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier. But like when you get to that like whatever it is, 300, 400 LP, and you have to do the whole like win 66% thing or whatever, it's tough. But yeah, I played the like argue 3 of the best decks, and yeah, they were just very powerful. It carried me. I knew I was going to struggle against Scion and Action Sivir because I just hadn't really played any of those decks into those matchups. And the one early round that I lost was to that kind of lineup that maybe I could have won had I like known the matchups better. And then like you guys were talking about in the last round 9, game 3, I'm on Poppy Z versus Plunder, and Plunder just
They
got
stole
me.
your rallies.
Stole
Double
2 rallies
We were
for
watching
multiple
that.
turns. I'm like, all I need is 1 rally here, and I could like steal this game. And it's like, nope. And then they're like, rally. I'm like, oh, that sucks. They're like, rally again just for fun. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
That was pretty mean.
I brought some weird stuff. Lee, Thralls, which was like the 1-2 punch of Plunder beaters, and then I brought Feel the Mina as deck number 3 because I was really enjoying it, absolutely crushing with it on ladder. Like that put me to the front page. Just absolutely stomping people with Feel the Mina in like every matchup. And then I thought it countered Plunder, even though I'd only played the matchup like twice, because like in my head I was just like, oh, this works, right? I bounce their stuff, I stun their stuff. But then, like, the more the open rounds went on, I was like, this doesn't counter Plunder,
To be fair, I told you.
Yeah, you did. But I was like, no, it totally should. It totally does, bro. And it didn't.
It totally does if your opponent plays bad.
Yes. Yes. And then
I'm not
the
even
problem
sure
was
that's true.
They
I
kept-
actually think, it's definitely like when it's two very, very good players. I think Lee is still favored. Yeah.
Lee.
Wait, we're not talking about Lee. We're
Oh, wait,
talking
Lee,
about
Lee.
Philomena.
Oh,
Field of Mina
Mina.
into
Oh,
Plunder.
yeah.
Lee
okay.
kicks the
Lee's
crap out of
always
Plunder.
flavored.
Yeah.
Flavored.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Field of Mina, the problem was they kept denying all my shit. Like, I'd be like, Field of Rush, and they go, deny. I'm like, yup, okay. Mina, deny. Oh my god. And then they'd cast my own Mina or my own Field of Rush, and I'm like, I am not having a good time.
Some of the Lees were going up to like 3 denies or something like that.
We were playing 3 denies, both Jordan and I, yeah. So yeah, Lee still crushes Plunder. And then Thralls beats Plunder still pretty handedly, which is nice. Lee felt phenomenal. Anytime people wouldn't ban Lee, I was like, I beat you. Like that was just how it felt, right? I'm so comfortable on the deck, and I've played all these matchups like 100 times. Lee's just really well situated. You get to ban out Poppy Zed. But my god, when those triple rally lineups started coming in, did I sweat? Like, I can win most matchups with Lee to where even the bad matchups feel pretty even. But triple rally is horrifying. Because it's like, they'll play Lulu Zed, right? Which is not what you want to play against. And then they'll have Poppy MF, Scouts, which you most certainly don't want to play against. And then they also have Sivir, which is still a bad matchup. And because they're playing triple rally and they want to target Lee, they'll tech harder against Lee. They'll run the third rally and the third concerted strike, which makes it a lot worse. And so I played that in the open rounds. I went like 1-2 in the first 3 rounds, and then ran into triple rally. And I was like, oh my god. And I got there, and I think I played a second triple rally lineup and also got there again. On my way to 7-2, which was good enough to top 32, but that shook me for sure. And it shook me enough that I decided to do the exact same thing in top 32 and got beat by triple rally.
Yeah, what do you guys think of triple rally? Because that's a lineup that like our team never even really considered. I don't think. Like,
it's not my
a lot
thing.
of talk about that.
It's not my thing. I just wouldn't play it. You were like, this is the best lineup. I wouldn't play it.
I actually looked at it quite a bit, and my problem is the Lulu Zed deck. Like, I think you lose way too much power on that deck, and it might have been a very solid call for top 32. It obviously was. Like, it did great for a couple of people, but I would definitely not have brought that lineup to open rounds. And I had a little bit of a blind spot because I didn't reconsider it for top 32, and that might have been a failure on my part. But I don't think it's an open rounds deck because the Lulu Zed deck loses too much power, and that's been true of triple rally for a long time. You have like 1.5 to 2 really, really powerful decks that do exactly what you want, and then your third deck is kind of just like the problem child, and you're praying that you can get a win every time. And I'm not really interested in running that lineup, which might have been why I got off of Thresh Sol at the last minute. So you know,
target cough.
My opponent Kochua, who beat me and was the other finalist, made it to second place, that was running the triple rally lineup, and I was talking to him, and I decided to ban Poppy MF every time I faced that lineup, and he's like, that was definitely correct, by the way. He's like, we were doing a lot of testing against Lee Sin, and he's like, and Lulu Zed's like maybe kind of favored into Lee. He's like 55-45, maybe.
You take that.
And I was like, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, if I draw Eye of the Dragon and Sonic Wave, I feel like I just win the matchup. Whereas the Poppy MF one is not that way, right?
The issue is whichever of your decks doesn't have Poppy or Sivir is going to be a worse deck.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have opponents who just 2-0 you through that deck.
Mm-hmm. So I top aided all in all, which was like, obviously that's like really good, but it's hard not to like be disappointed, you know? Especially in the moment. Like, I went back and watched my VODs because I was editing to post it on YouTube, and I was like, I look like I'm gonna cry. Like, I like lost in top 8, and I'm just sitting there like this. And then I'm like, all right, guys, I'm gonna get off. I'm like, damn, bro, I was down bad. But like, you know, you have to take a step back and like be proud of your accomplishment, which I always feel the next day. That day, I just let myself be sad, and then the following day, I get over it. So we're now past that, and I'm like, dope, I top 8'd again. But honestly, like, and I prepared for this seasonal, but not enough, and I think that was shown by like I wasn't on the best lineup for top 32. I was a little too stuck in the open rounds mentality, and the meta passed me by. Right? People adapted. They saw what a lot of people were bringing, which was Lee Thrall's rally, and brought like these triple rallies and stuff to combat that. And I was stuck one level behind, and I paid the price for it. And I want to win again. Not like it'd be nice to win again. I want to win again. And so next season, I'm really going to like put my all into it.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for the season to start. Real quick on that. What was Black Boss on? He was on Teemo Swain.
Teemo Swain,
no.
MF Poppy, or it was Scion, right?
It was Scion.
Scion, Poppy, Plunder, right?
Plunder, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Plunder, yeah,
Scion,
MF
Poppy, Plunder.
It's exactly what I wanted to play against.
Scion was
Scion.
one by, right?
Yeah.
No, he was Poppy. What though?
I think it was like MF, or
MF,
something.
Poppy MF,
Yeah.
Scouts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they both had scouts in the finals, which is really
Yeah.
interesting.
How do you
I don't
counter
know.
a triple rally lineup? Ravenous Flock.
I disagree a little bit with Majin on that one. We were on the same lineup, and I stand by the lineup. I think that was actually just the 3 best decks, and it was really, really solid. I think Majin got a little bit unlucky. I think I got a little bit unlucky, but I would bring that lineup again tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's a
Without
good point.
changing a card.
That's a good point. Because as we were discussing, like if we ran into the other half of the bracket, like we
We
run
destroy
through them, right?
Yeah.
We just run through them. Watching all the matches past mine, I was just like, oh my god, right?
When you say the other half of the bracket, what are you talking about?
Basically the other. Okay, so there was like a few people who brought like triple rallies, and I just happened, or triple rallies, double rallies, Lee Sin counters. And I just happened to run into them. The people who made it further in the tournament, besides Kochua, were all super weak to our lineup.
Scion, GP,
Scion,
GP
Plunders,
set,
yeah.
stuff like that.
one rally deck that we get to ban. It was like exactly what we were looking for.
So,
Yeah.
how much of that do you think is people seeing that they have Majin Bay on their side of the bracket, and they're like, "Oh, I probably want to beat Lee Sin. That sounds like a good place to be."
I think there's, okay. So, on that note, what happened to me is that we thought the bracket was going to get shifted, right? And instead of playing my first round opponent, we thought I was going to be playing Zolt, who brings Lurk, Rally, and like Zed elusives.
And
or
we
something
spent a
like that,
whole
right?
fucking day prepping for that.
And we spent the
whole
whole
night,
day
yeah.
prepping for it because I was like, Zolt is going to bring Lee Sin counters. I cannot bring Lee Sin to this tournament. And I imagine
And
it's
then-
exactly the same. And then it shifted back and we're like, Lee Sin! But I imagine it's exactly the same. You see Majin Bay across from you round 1 and you go, I can't bring anything weak to Lee Sin because he's going to bring Lee Sin in 2 decks to complement it, right? So, yeah, I doubt anyone further than my first round opponent really considered it though. Because that's kind of what I do. And
Also-
yeah.
If I'm gonna be real, can we please shuffle the brackets?
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
either shuffle the brackets or lock the decks? I don't care which, but one of those two things really needs to be done.
Yeah. I hate this trying to counter thing.
Yeah, let's talk about those because I 100% agree. It's, I don't know. It's just like a bunch of bad that comes from it. But locking the decks is interesting because like now, you know, when we talk about the open rounds, it's like, just bring the best 3 decks, beat up on whoever's bringing whatever nonsense. But then you would get to the winners meta game to like the top 32.
I'm fine
And
with
then-
that.
Yeah, and so do you start though? Do you still just bring the best 3 decks? Or now are you bringing something like Triple Rally where you're like, okay, I'm going to squeak by, I'm going to make top 32, and then I'm going to hammer those Lee Sin mothers in the top 32?
I don't agree that you should necessarily just bring the top 3 decks anyway. I've always had a skewed viewpoint on that. I think that you're supposed to bring 3 decks that have solid, powerful linear game plans, teched against 1 or 2 things that you expect. And while that can mean bring the 3 best decks, I don't think it always does.
Yeah, and like I say bring the 3 best decks, but I usually won't do that, right? Like Plunder was one of the 3 best decks for the open rounds, and I wouldn't have brought it because I don't want to play it. I hate playing it, so I just wouldn't have. It's also a little variance heavy, which I try to avoid. I say this as a Lee Sin player. But like, yeah, so I definitely think you should put your own personal flair on it. Like, you like to tech for specific matchups. I like to tech for mirror matchups. you know, and that's totally fine. I think that like personal flair is totally okay. I just think, yeah, like I think we're both on the same page here that like a super targeted lineup in the open rounds is not where you want to be.
I think it's
really-
kind of cool that, like, as it is, I mean, you know, I understand totally wanting to, like, shuffle the bracket, but I like being able to swap decks between a top cut and the open rounds, just because I think it leads to a really interesting metagame where, you know, you're bringing a lot of decks that you can't bring to open rounds, right? Like, I'm not bringing Soraka Tahm Kench to an open round. You bet your ass if I was in that top cut, I would have brought it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I almost
stuff
did.
like that. Yeah, I think that the deck was positioned really good against, like, a couple of decks, but if I have to play 9 rounds against random shit, there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
And as somebody
Absolutely.
who like really benefited from, you know, being able to see who I was against in the seasonals that I top 2'd, right? Like, you know, I closed my eyes on my first round and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hope that I run to Kevor and Majin, right? Because I want to farm Lee Sin
And it worked
and
out.
farm Viego. And it worked out, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I definitely get it, especially if you're somebody who's like, you know, a name within the community, because people know what you're playing most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That is
it's
kind of a
But
weird.
it's
Oh, go ahead.
not-
I didn't mean to
It's
cut you
not
off.
even just like names or whatever, right? Like the deck lists all get published. What you brought to the open rounds gets published. So I honestly I'm down for not locking the decks because I feel the like secondary metagame thing, that's kind of a cool process, you're right.
Yeah.
But I think we need to shuffle the bracket because it ends up hurting people to have to like make this one round decision. And statistically, it's not right to make the one round decision, except if your
Mhm.
opponent's going to, then you get fucked. Like it's
Yeah.
really rough. It's this actual prisoner's dilemma that gets created by knowing who your round 1 opponent is going to be.
Have you ever
Yeah.
have you ever known your round 1 opponent and you almost hit them up and be like, what if we just promise to play what we want to play? Like, what if we just
I
try not to
literally-
target each other?
Literally
Just handshake.
multiple times.
Yeah.
I've had that interaction numerous times.
It feels bad. And like,
Literally, yeah.
I can't play what I want to on ladder before the top 32. I cannot practice my decks on ladder because I know I'm looking at my opponent's Runeterra AR account, and I know they're looking at mine.
Oh god, I
right?
fucking hate that website.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep, and it's brutal
Whoa,
because
whoa,
like
whoa. It's not.
It's
It's,
not the
not the
website,
website. It's that Riot just gives us this information. Because imagine this: if Runeterra AR wasn't there, anyone, if they wanted to, could go get access to
Or
that
the
information
API.
and keep it for
Yeah.
themselves to the API. How
Okay.
how left would
All
that
right,
be?
all right.
yeah,
That would be way worse.
make some
I take it
Smurfs,
back,
bro.
it's not
People
their fault.
know my Smurfs.
Yeah.
New Smurf, bro.
Oh, you have to make a
Definitely
Smurf.
not Majin
Yeah,
3.
go up from, it's like I hate Lee Sin. No one will
I
know.
swear, last week we were just like chilling in call and just talking while you were like practicing Tahm Kench Raka last like for top cut and like
Yeah.
I mean everyone can see that.
Everyone can see that. Yeah.
Everyone check the VODs after, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
We love VODs.
Scrub the
But
VODs.
even on my own time, right? Like if I'm playing a deck, bro, people will like if I'm playing a deck not streaming, just on ladder, I'll get DMs from people I wasn't playing asking me about why I'm playing that deck. Bro, like 10 minutes later. It's wild. It
You just
happens
do
all the
talk down.
time. It's like, how do you know? Oh, I spectate your games. It's like, what? Who does this?
Wait, can
yeah.
you turn that off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
they'll
can't
be
do it. You can't
spectating their
spectate
friends.
both anyways.
Someone will match up against me and say, yo, I'm playing against Bay, come watch. And then it spreads, right? And I'm not being like, oh my god, woe is me, people know my name, right? That's not what I'm saying. I hate that I have to take into account that my opponent might try to hard counter me because they know who I am. I hate that. Just shuffle the bracket.
Whatever. Learn to play Rally, bruh.
No. No.
Well, that's on you. That's on you.
I don't want to play. I just want to play my decks. Let me win with the decks I want.
Okay. All right. Whatever, man.
Exactly.
Majin should definitely learn how to play rally decks because it'll be good for him, but
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's the answer to people who want to shuffle the bracket.
Hey, I
right?
brought Rally in top 32, knowing I wouldn't have
Yeah.
to play a single game with it.
Truth. All right, so that was seasonals. Seasonals was awesome. Can we talk about the new shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll talk
new
about the new stuff.
stuff.
What's everybody's like favorite new cards they've seen so far? Hit me with some of these.
Pantheon. Pantheon's dope.
Pantheon's pretty
Pantheon's
cool.
pretty-
Pantheon's your
Pantheon?
favorite?
And the bounce card that bounces something 3 or less power, that card's kind of nuts.
I really like all the
Pretty good,
Mecha-Yordles. They seem fun.
The Mecha-Yordles are the Mecha-Yordles go from absolutely insanely busted to like pretty good.
Yeah.
with more leaning towards absolutely insane.
Whoa. What's... I'm looking on Twitter for the new cards, and Runeterra AR just posted all the cards of the new expansion are available. Create and share.
Like Ahri?
What?
Maybe they mean...
I'm sure
maybe
it's
they
just all that they
mean...
released or shown.
Yeah, that must be what it is.
There's no
So we're
way.
still getting more cards for sure.
They mine the
We're not getting
API
to
even
the
further.
so hard.
No way.
There's a
I
guy
don't
who
see Ahri.
Right.
I don't see Ahri.
Yeah.
the guy who runs Runeterra AR, English is not their first language, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
No.
Yeah.
It's Vivo, right?
Yeah, I'm
No, I
very
think so,
excited
like-
to see Ahri. Like, I would pick Ahri as my... Like, Ahri's the card I'm most excited about, for sure. We just haven't seen her. But Pantheon looks cool.
I'm really hoping Ahri is solid because if she is, like, I already have the Kennen Ahri deck built, and I just need to put in
Just
the
slot
Ahri.
her in.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
slot
great.
her and one of the cards she comes with in there, and you're good.
It's gonna
I
be
wanna-
a good time.
I love playing cards that do some, like, shenanigans, right? I want to, like, flicker my stuff. I want to be bouncing and replaying that stupid 3-1 that buffs your hand for no reason. And, like, I want to do cool stuff like that. That's fun, and it creates, like, really interesting back and forth when you have cards that, like, can, like, bounce your unit or their unit. And, like, you know, I don't know. I just like cards that give me choices, and I feel decks like that give you a lot of choices.
Yeah.
Also, I
they
get to
are
play
really
Mountain Goat
interesting.
again. And that's pretty sick. I miss that guy.
I don't know. I'm looking at Pantheon, and the more I look at Pantheon, the more I think, like, I want to play every single card in his package except for him. Am I the only one who's thinking that?
I'm with you.
Yeah, Pantheon has a
I
pretty
think
great
Pantheon's
package,
sick,
right?
dude.
I like Rumble, actually. I think Rumble's cool.
How do we feel about the new Ionia Scion deck with the Ionia landmark? What?
Oh.
That's so stupid.
What?
Wait, I love that
What?
idea.
Okay, that's really funny.
Stop.
I don't get it.
So it recalls Scion, but it summons an ephemeral copy of it, and then 2 turns later it summons another copy of it.
Another ephemeral copy
Another
of it.
ephemeral.
Mhm.
It's-
You just
Obviously,
you get a Scion who dies.
Obviously, the first
And then-
Scion's gonna kill you, but
But it's
That card
if you
seems
ever need
really
it,
good. Like, the card seems like really...
Can you cheat out Scion
Crazy.
somehow? Like you cheat out Scion turn 5?
You can do the Rumble cheat out they put in the video.
Oh, yeah. With the guy who
Mecha-Yordle.
the Mecha-Yordle, the 6-mana one.
Lil Dipper.
Yeah,
Lil
Lil
you
Dipper.
Could, you could play Greenglade Caretaker, or the
So the-
2-mana
yeah, yeah.
2/2.
Green Glade
Yeah,
Lookout.
yeah, the
Lookout.
scout, or whatever, the
Yeah.
lookout,
How is he
lookout,
leveled then?
Lookout.
lookout. Yeah. She
Well,
who's
that's
really
the issue
excited
with
for
playing
Yordle
Scion in
Explorer.
Any other region, right?
Is that the +1/+1 one? The
Yeah.
2/2. Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, yeah, yay.
Because the
You
people
know,
have
there's
some
like
opinions.
60, there's 60 Yordle cards or something like
I'm not gonna lie. I actually this is gonna be a hot take. I'm gonna get flamed for this in like a week when there's nothing but Yordles in the meta. But I think people are overreacting to this card.
No, I'm 100% with you.
I think
They're
so,
totally
too.
overreacting to this card.
that.
Like,
Don't get me
it's-
wrong, it's strong.
It's very strong.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's like
But guys,
lecturing Yordle strong.
if y'all have not realized, playing Poppy.deck where you just spam the board with Yordles and try to murder your opponent with any region except for Demacia has been kind of bad lately. Like Poppy Bandle Nox, like you just like block their stuff and they run out of gas. Like the deck is still okay, but it's not this overpowered everybody dies moment. And I don't think Yordle Explorer is going to change it that much.
Okay, but how do you block everything if it has +1/+1, Jordan?
I have the dragon.
Damn.
I mean, so like the card's definitely good, right?
Yeah, no, it's
and
very
there's
powerful
definitely some disgusting stuff you could do, like Explorer into Explorer or Explorer into Mayor, shit like that is probably going to be really annoying. There's
Yeah.
definitely a curve where it's like, okay, well, you must answer my Explorer, then you must answer my Mayor, and then you must answer Poppy,
Mhm.
right?
What if I don't answer any of those and just kill you on turn 5? That sounds more fun for me.
Good luck.
But at the same time,
How?
like, if this
What are you
card's like
playing?
if this card's like an 8 out of 10, I feel like the response to it has been like a fucking 15 out of 10.
Yeah, no,
People
this
are flipping out about
this
this.
card has
yeah.
gotten more of a negative response than like the cards that really deserve a negative response. The other one is like the Captain, the 4-mana 4/4 that grants +1/+1.
Yeah,
People
that one's
lost
not
their
good at
goddamn mind, and I was like, oh, I'm never playing this card.
all.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think I'm gonna try to play it because I think it might be really solid into control decks in the Yordle deck. I think it might be a really solid 1 or 2 of, specifically targeting the decks that are going to try to target the Yordles. I don't think it's a ridiculous card at all, and it might just be a bad one.
Yeah. What cards deserve a negative response? Lost Soul. Yeah.
They fixed it. They literally fixed it. What's your problem?
Yeah, but it deserved a negative response.
Okay, that's fair.
That was just a question in chat, and that was the first thing that popped in my head. Was Lost Soul.
Merciless Hunter. Yeah.
Merciless Hunter's some bullshit.
God.
Yeah. Fuck that card. Yeah, the Yordles are just too good. Like Bandle City is just already too good. It's too flexible. The problem is it's the most flexible region, and that's the point of the region, and that's totally cool. I'm super down for that. But it also is it just has the best cards.
Yeah.
I think that. No, oh, go ahead.
Can I just bring something up about all of this? Bandle City is already the best, and we're buffing it. In my opinion, the best 3 decks last seasonal were Lee, Thralls, and GP Sedge. Maybe with Poppy, Zed, and Scion. How many Bandle City decks was that, Majin? Help me
I count Poppy Zed as Bandle City. Anything that runs Poppy, anything that runs Poppy counts for me. Anything.
Okay.
Until
Poppy's
she's nerfed,
broken,
she's
for
part of
sure.
the problem.
They're two separate
So,
Vandal is not that good right now.
So like Poppy's good, but I don't think Poppy would be nearly as much of an issue if Twin Disciplines didn't exist. I think Twin Disciplines is the issue in that
Don't
deck,
do
unironically.
this to my favorite region. Come on, we
No,
just
but,
got
like,
a playable
seriously.
card.
I'm telling you, the only reason we can't deal with Poppy is Twin Disciplines.
Not
that
for
card is
Poppy's
ridiculous.
sins, man. Not like this. Twin Disciplines is nuts in these rally decks, like 1,000%.
It's also nuts in Lee Sin. It's
Yeah.
kind of a good card.
Let me
That's
have
okay.
good things.
Twin's not okay.
It is
Totally
really good.
legal.
It is really good.
But, like Poppy and like Poppy Ziggs is like, okay, yeah, sometimes she buffs stuff up, sometimes. But like if Poppy comes down with like Twin backup and like Twin plus Resolve on like 3 banked mana, it's like fuck me. She's
Yeah.
literally never dying.
Or Zed. There's just nothing you can do about it. Sharpsight,
Zed,
I
oh my
agree
God.
with Gilgar. I think Sharpsight's a better card, but like that's okay. Demacia should have the best pump spell in the game.
Yeah.
I think we're.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna. Oh, sorry. I'll let you guys finish. For sure.
I was just gonna say, I
Okay.
think that like being able to cheat mana, like there's usually X mana equals you can have that much extra attack or that much extra health, right? And my removal is also X mana to deal like that much damage.
Mhm.
But when my Mystic Shot is not being able to add up to your Twin, like Twin just like breaks the whole dynamic there. Especially if it's backed up by 1 mana Ranger's Resolve, which instantly makes all my removal that much worse. It just
Yeah.
it just layers and layers, and I think that's the real issue with Poppy.
Yeah.
Have you?
Like I don't think that we care about Poppy in other decks.
I think Poppy's still a problem. Like the fact you play Poppy Lux for Poppy just because like she's nuts. She's just insane. She's a must answer threat. You have to kill her. And
Poppy Lux is a random ass 4-drop that occasionally makes your 2/2s do things.
yes,
Yeah.
and you gotta kill it.
Still a good card.
Poppy's not
I
the
won
problem.
so many
It's
games with
insane
Poppy
in
just
that deck.
incidentally leveling because they didn't kill her. They're just like,
I mean,
gonna kill you now.
Poppy Scouts too is just the same, right? I mean, it's the same thing Icona was talking about, but Lux Poppy doesn't play that stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
And
like,
even in Tree, you get like one swing off with Poppy, and suddenly your
The
board
game's
just locks
different.
down.
Have you
She's
played
definitely
against
good.
these decks when they don't draw Poppy? Not Poppy Lux, that's a completely different story. But these like aggressive Poppy-centric decks, if they don't draw Poppy, these decks are bad, dude. Like the rally decks that don't draw Poppy or Zed cannot kill you.
okay.
That's
yeah.
not
I mean, that's
true.
not true
I
either.
won.
Just like
I won
Ulysses.
plenty. I won, I think, literally 3 different rounds during the open rounds where I drew 0 champions.
That's pretty impressive.
That's not. That deck does plenty of things without Poppy.
I would,
Ulysses and Rally is slightly an issue.
yeah,
It
it's
definitely
pretty good.
feels pretty bad though, right? When like you didn't draw your champions and you're looking at a hand of like 3 rallies and you have your witch and your fucking tracker on the board at turn 6. It's like, okay, you guys gotta hold down the board.
All right,
Yeah.
here comes
That's
the value
That's more my
trade.
experience.
And Witch is also broken as fuck, by the way.
Oh,
Like
Witch is
Witch is also the
disgusting.
issue.
Young Witch is really good. I like Young Witch. It's just
Such a good card,
oh
but
my
it's just
god,
it's
it's just
so
I feel bad.
rally decks are so good. Lee
Honestly,
Sin
I
Enjoyers, how
think-
good is Memory Cloak for you? I don't like it very much.
It's like situational deny, right? Just one mana
Yeah,
cheaper.
like M-Tuck's got a good point. It replaces Notify. It doesn't replace Deny. I don't even want to play Notify, and often don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'm playing any Memory Cloak. I think
I don't
Lee Sin
think
is a control deck. I think it's a control deck that occasionally gets desperate and has to all in an OTK you. But like, if you're playing Lee Sin as this combo deck, then I think where you want Memory Cloak, I think you're playing Lee Sin wrong and should practice more.
Yeah, I think Lee Sin
I mean-
used to be a combo deck back with like the goat mentor. It was much more of a combo deck, and it
Oh,
shifted
it was
away from that.
It was an aggro deck. What are you talking about?
Dude,
Go,
big goat,
mentor,
big goat wins
Zenith Blade.
games. Let's go.
Big goat
Done.
Big
was
goat,
the
dude.
boss.
What you're
Sad we
missing
don't
with
play big
memory
goat
cloak.
anymore.
Yep, memory cloak sometimes hits multiple spells, so it's like the big counter to Riptide Rex, guys.
Honestly,
Damn.
like memory
it-
cloak kind of
it kinda
me, but like you shouldn't play it over deny. So
Yeah.
when
Does, like,
people play it
does,
against
like,
me, I would
fuck
be
up
frustrated.
Jawfish. Like you have only Lee Sin on boards turn 8 and they play Jawfish.
Got him,
Damn.
dude. Got
Got
him.
him. But no,
It's so
please don't
good.
play that card.
It's like it's super duper situational, right? Like it's 100% going to be like, oh, in the meta there are these situations where they throw multiple things at my one guy.
Yeah.
Mhm. There's a
And, like,
card
maybe it
that
gets
has
hit
like a
off the
storm
control.
effect where it like casts a bunch of copies, and you want to be able to stop that.
Yeah.
How do we think Pantheon will be? We are split. I think it's. I think Pantheon's gonna be super sick, and some people don't agree with me.
I think Pantheon looks fine. He just boring. He looks very vanilla and boring.
I get that, but I'm just excited to do different Targon things.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just
me
wanna play
too.
Oxshot
I just don't think
Fan.
I need Pantheon to do it. I want to play like all of the new buff spells and the dragon and like Zoe Vi, man.
Well, why Vi? Like we've been searching for a decent playable Targon champion forever, and I think we have one now. I think Pantheon's
searching.
a pretty good Targon champion.
He just attacks for 4 and then dies.
Well, sometimes he blocks.
Well, he has barrier, Jordan.
Yeah, Majin's very big on playing the barrier blocker with
It's
2
so
toughness.
good. Have you played against Sivir? It's so good, dude. Bright Steel Protector, they're just like, fuck. Damn it, right? And so they just play Sivir on 4, and you're like, dur, 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 and then that's it, their turn ends.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean-
but then you have a 4/2 against a Sivir deck.
He's gonna get bigger.
Pantheon gets
No,
really
he doesn't
fucking
get
big,
big.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
He gets real
He gets
big.
faded.
Real
You have
quick,
to, like,
right?
build
And he's a
around
4-drop.
him.
Like, that's not a huge investment.
+1/+1 a turn is not real big, real fast.
Well, it is
Did I
when you
just hear
combine
that
them with
a 4-drop
Targon Grant
is
cards like Zenith Blade and things like that.
Did I just hear
I
that a
guess.
4-drop is not a huge investment? Because we might need to have a talk about how tempo works.
It's not.
Okay, so like, I get that he doesn't get like super big, but if you sharp sight this guy, he's instantly a goddamn 7/5
With
for a
Overwhelm,
4-drop.
he's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and barrier.
Yes.
This guy gets really
Yeah.
fucking big.
Even
I
like
think
even
that
like
we're-
the stupid +0/+2 in Targon. All of a sudden he's
Wait,
a house
He's
now.
a 7/5?
If you
Sharp
sharp sight him,
sight,
he's a
yeah.
7/5. If you
It's
if you
true.
give him
Yeah, but then he goes back down.
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
5/3, yeah. But if
to
you
a 5/3.
Yeah.
a 5/3 for 4, that's Sivir.
I've never
stats.
killed a 5/3 before. You're right.
No, but
Me neither. Sivir, once it hits the
Sivir
board, it
never dies, dude. I guess she has quick attack, but like you're playing
She has
Targon.
spell shield.
You're playing Targon
She
in
has
his deck
spell
shield.
designed to
Spell
pump things.
shield.
Spell.
Bro,
Designed.
spell shield.
Okay, you
Yeah,
put
but
him
you
up to put him up to
Oh,
4
shoot,
health.
maybe.
Nothing kills anything at 4 health.
I bet you.
think-
I'll go on a limb here and I'll say that he gets buffed.
That'd be dangerous.
You wanna
I'm
bet?
telling you right now, if you buff Pantheon, it's a problem.
I bet you he ends up like
fucking
J4.
way.
I bet he ends up
No.
like J4 where they're like,
No way.
you think they buff him next month or
You
what?
give him 1 HP or what?
No, not next month. I think like in
It'd probably be 1
3
month,
months.
yeah. I think he's gonna be solid. I
he'll be
don't think
fine.
he's gonna like run the meta or
it's 3
anything,
HP.
but I think he's gonna be way better than you think.
I think his level up conditions like are actually
It
kind
seems
of hard.
actually very
It's
slow.
really
Yeah.
It's
Hard.
very
Very
slow. It's
difficult.
more an accidental thing. It's like on turn 8 you play a Pantheon and he fucks you up, but before that he's
But
just
like
never
that's
leveling.
not good. You play a turn
Nope.
8, you play 5/3 Pantheon, like 5 keywords. That's not good.
No, 8
And
keywords.
if you're
the
lucky-
minimum is 8 keywords.
Alright, sure.
per
That's
turn.
not that
What?
good.
Yeah, because his
still.
level up condition is he starts with 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, sure. But
and they're pretty good ones.
He's
they're
like
pretty
a
good
good
ones.
Arsenal. If
If
you
you
could
have
play a
to
4-mana
actual
Arsenal
ones
that comes
you
down
can
on
get.
turn 7.
I would 100% do that. Even like turn 9. Yeah, I'm playing Targon. I'm gonna get there. Yeah, I'm excited
gonna
about
pale.
it, dude.
It's giving your pale a grant. Like how
Yeah.
good is that?
Yep, and you're
That's
gonna
how you
play.
win
You're gonna play with the new
games.
that's why I
dragon.
want to play the dragon. That's why I want to play
Yeah,
the
you're
dragon.
gonna
Yeah,
win with
just
the
play
one
Dragon's
drop, you're gonna
very
win
good,
with the
yeah,
3
yeah.
drop, but then Pantheon's like,
This is the lucky find deck, guys.
Unironically, that's pretty sick though. Is it good? I'll find out tomorrow for you.
Wednesday. Find
No.
out Wednesday.
No, he's
Oh,
playing
no.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Mine
right.
gets early access
Oh,
again.
no.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh.
Me
Someday.
too.
And Jason,
Someday
yeah.
I will also have early access.
One day.
Join us.
I invited you to come play with me on my stream, and you gave me the cold shoulder, so you could rot till Wednesday with everyone else.
You could put gems and
Right
like
in
still
my
on
heart.
Panth and easy
Thought
win.
I forgot, didn't you?
Zenith is a +2/+3 permanent.
Okay, we're not playing Zenith. Please stop telling people to play Zenith. You're
Oh, yeah,
overwhelmed.
yes.
No, if you're playing the dragon, you're playing Zenith Blade. Come on,
No way. There's
Yes
no way.
way.
Zenith Blade is not a good card.
bro,
without
big
Lee
goat.
Sin.
But that's the Lee Sin deck.
Why
This
can't I
card
play
is
Lee
not
Sin in my
good,
Pantheon
Lee.
deck?
But like that costs
Okay,
3
are you
mana. That's
seriously
so
gonna play
slow.
Pantheon Lee Sin? Is that what's
Yes,
happening?
yes, I am.
No!
Can we get
That's one of
Acel
the-
in there too?
That's one of the first things I'm gonna do tomorrow is play
Oh,
Pantheon Lee
yes,
Sin.
give
And
Acel Overwhelm.
in 30 minutes, I'm gonna come back to you and say, okay, no, it's bad, but I had a great time.
I saw someone
That's
saying
fair.
they were gonna play Kennen Lee Sin, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's like Fizz Lee Sin, right?
It actually does, and I will show you the list.
Okay, I'd love to see it. I know the whole idea is like you get the little marks from like all the dragonlings spawning, right? You can level your Kennen really easily. But Kennen's like, I don't know. Do you guys think Kennen is actually any good? I don't
Ezreal
think
Kennen,
I've ever-
baby.
Kennen's
Hard.
He's very
It's
good,
the
but
same.
he's a 1-drop. See, he's not Zoe good, but like,
Like
he's good.
his little spell token is fleeting.
Yep.
It's like he's the only thing that can generate it, and you have to get 2 to be able to play it at all.
Yeah.
It's
You can
fleeting,
stagger them though.
but it is a
You can play the
grant,
first
right?
one and then play the
It is a
second one the
grant,
next turn.
sure.
You guys are missing something really important. Kennen pops spell shields.
That-
That's
okay,
true.
yeah. Which is
That's a good point.
relevant for
is
one
important.
thing right now, right, Jaciver?
Cinnamon is gonna be Rumble.
No,
I'm gonna
yeah,
be
Rumble's
Rumble.
gonna have
Good
a
point.
spell
Good point.
shield.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
I
Kennen.
think Kennen's solid.
Yeah.
I've been looking at Kennen Lee, and I've also been looking at Kennen Aphelios Karma, though I realize that is a little bit crazy.
I think that's. I think you
Kennen?
fell a little too far. I was actually gonna bring this
Yeah.
up. I think people's main problem with Kennen is their expectations are not what they should be. People are looking at Kennen and going, "Oh my god, if I level him, it's gonna be insane." And like, he's not a game
It's
winner.
not gonna be that good, right?
And I think like
Yeah,
the
it's
Karma
not-
Kennen is kind of the same thing, where it's like maybe you're playing a little too hard for the level up. I don't know what deck list you built yet though, but like
I'll
He
show
is-
you. I'll show you.
Okay.
He is also a 1 mana 2/1 quick attack, which is
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
sure.
He's just a good
Yeah.
card.
The
good.
other
He's good
option is you just play like Kennen Zed and you kill people. Like you just
But
play
Zoe
Kennen
is a
Zed and a bunch of
crazy
elusives.
card.
Zoe's nuts though. We have to see if Ahri gives Kennen the real payoff it needs. The
That's
Kennen
true.
like archetype, right? Because if Ahri in the supporting cards, because we've seen zero. Sorry, I hit the mic. We've seen actually a couple now, and they're pretty poopy, honestly. Except for like the one mana 2/1 elusive. That card's pretty good. Mostly Ionia like supporting cards are not good.
I think the landmark might be better than people.
The
Landmark
landmark's
is
pretty
already
sick.
good.
The landmark's
I-
really spicy.
Summon
Like
effect.
playing the landmark even just on Kennen seems very fun, and playing the landmark on an Otterpuss will make my opponent lose their mind.
That's very funny. Yeah, no, I like the landmark a lot. I
like
think the
that
2/1 with
smoke or
elusive's
something.
good. The one that bounces itself.
I'm
Costs 1 mana.
skeptical about that one.
If
Just
That
because
one
negative
is fine.
tempo. Like,
It's-
if you want to progress yourself, it's negative tempo.
It's a different deck. The 2/1 with elusive is just going in elusive aggro. You're just gonna play freaking Zed,
Yeah.
Kennen, and
it's,
Encroaching
it's like a
Shadows.
it's like a
Freaking kill
better
people.
Blade Scout.
I don't know if
You
we're gonna
play
play
both.
encroaching shadows, are we? Are we
Oh
really
yeah,
going
oh
back
yeah.
to encroaching?
Zed,
going-
Zed, Kennen, Encroaching Shadows. I'm a fucking
You
kill some
can,
fools.
yeah, and then
We're
you can
going
like
in.
do the. It's the one that like cheapens it by 1 and gives it ephemeral. I'm pretty sure it's gonna
I
recall.
believe
before
it's
Shadow
that
Isles
way. It
one?
does. It will work like the flight because that goes
Yeah.
back to the deck before.
What are the other ones? I really dislike that they leave one champ for the day before
It's Ahri.
release.
Ari.
Yeah. So I know it's Ahri, but I was trying to think what were the other ones that they left until like the day before? Because there was other times this happened where like we all knew there was a champ coming, and we're just like, where is it? And it was like, oh, they left it for the last day or whatever. Because like Ahri to me is like like a fan favorite, right?
Yeah.
So, and so
It's weird.
I don't
okay.
know. So
Do you mind if I cut in? I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, go for it.
I think for us, like you and I specifically, it's different because to us, expansion starts tomorrow, right? To most people, they go on Twitter tomorrow, they see Ahri, they get super hyped, and they go on Twitch to see what their favorite streamers are doing with it. That's exciting. That's what I would want to do if I was a viewer. I'd be like, oh my god, this champ's tight. We got all the cards. Let's see what people are doing with it, right?
I mean, you couldn't drop Ahri on like Saturday during like top 32 seasonals. Be like, okay, like Black Boss won, and by the way, boom, here's Ahri coming in 3 days or whatever, and like everyone
she's shit.
hypes all the way over. Maybe. I hope not.
Yeah.
I think
I hope
we were
not.
kind of expecting Pantheon to be like that, and
Yeah,
Pantheon
yeah.
got a little bit more of a lukewarm response.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I think they were expecting
Yeah.
like the big
Yeah, no one's
big,
excited
big
about Pantheon.
Man descending onto the earth to be what people wanted, and clearly we needed to wait for Foxy Lady.
Yeah, but he's hot.
He is hot.
Save lives.
It's true. We play LOR for the mechanics.
Yep.
Like I feel it.
His thighs are so.
They removed his chest hair.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Which, you know, as a chest hairy person myself, is really offensive, honestly.
Discrimination.
Yeah, they don't like Chester's not for the community.
No, apparently not. They can handle it.
If someone could please
No.
order Majin some manscaped.com products and ship them over to him so he can follow his idol, that'd be really
So I could be just like
appreciated.
Pantheon.
I
sure you
think
get a plug.
honestly that it's a thing they do every time to like keep people kind of coming back to every single reveal, because I think every single time we've had a champion on the last day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
usually the most hyped champ. Like it's like Aurelia or who did we get on the last day when we did Bandle? Probably someone cool.
Bando was weird, right?
No, Bandle was weird because we got
Didn't
people.
we get like Pokey Stick on the last like the
No, we got
negative one
Pokey Stick
day?
when it
That
was
was the
released. They
best
literally
one.
didn't tell us. I was like, "What the fuck is this card? It's busted."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Pokestick was completely.
Someone played it against me, and I was like,
No,
What?
you and I were doing the we did a
was it the set
review that we recorded and we were like, whoa, what is
Okay,
this?
what
Like,
is
yeah, I
this
was like,
card?
yeah, that looks good.
They snuck it in there.
Oh, last time was Ziggs. Okay, so
Ziggs,
Ziggs was really solid.
it was
Yeah.
kind of weird because Bandle was weird because there was a lot of champs they were like re-releasing. They were like, "Guess what, guys? Lulu," and we're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we know." Yeah.
Did
Excited
we talk
Ahri.
about Rumble?
What's up?
Not really.
Did we talk
No,
about
let's go.
Rumble?
Let's talk
we
about
actually didn't
Rumble.
talk
What do you
about
guys?
Rumble at all.
What do you guys think? About Rumble seems really good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rumble seems good.
Very strong.
I think
card.
Rumble's really cool, but again, I think people are freaking the fuck out.
Yeah,
about
that's
him.
what I was saying.
I don't know what situations they're in. Like, have they never played Get Excited and had to discard a real fucking card? Like,
Thank
when
you,
you
Tasty
have-
Speaker, for the raid, by the way. Yeah, I'm with you.
At minimum, if you want this card to be good and to like ever flip, you have to discard at least 2 cards. You have to.
Yeah.
Get back, otherwise, it's useless. If you're
I
discarding 3 cards your entire fucking hand, are you kidding me? And then he dies.
Yeah,
What
so
now?
many
His
cards.
stats are
People
really
telling
good.
me, like it's completely fine. It's just 3 cards. I can have 3 cards I can discard. But people don't think about how the deck is built, right? Because when you build a deck like this that has discard outlets and like cards that actually say to discard or discard to do whatever on them, like you have to balance them out. Like you can't just have Rumble in your deck as the only thing that discards. And when you commit 3 discard like fodders to 1 play, like that's a lot.
You never have
And I
three.
mean-
You never have 3 discard fighters. Now
No.
imagine playing discard, right? Because people immediately went Rumble Scion, right? Which is like, of course, where mine's supposed to go. But imagine ever having 3 discard fodders without playing Draven in a game of Scion.
Right? Yeah,
Okay,
exactly. So you have to play
but-
2/2/2 or what?
Go ahead, Jordan.
But what if I just discard Scion and count that as one of my discard
Sure.
fodders? And
That's
remember
fine.
this overall when I kill people.
That's fine.
That-
No, Rumble's
that-
still
that
really
works.
good.
What?
Really good.
Hmm.
Also,
don't-
that level up is nuts.
I don't think Rumble is like ridiculously busted. I think he's actually going to be a very balanced card. I think he's going to be a powerful but balanced card because you really do have to completely build your deck around him.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really hard to build the deck.
Yeah,
Honestly,
really
like
hard.
whatever
What?
deck we land on, I don't think it's gonna be a day 1 deck.
No.
Like
When-
it's weird. Like the type of deck you have to build to be able to just discard 3 cards and like not lose the game. Like what happens if you discard your hand and he dies? Like then
No,
what?
no, no. But it's up to 3 cards. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
ditch
sure,
3.
for sure.
The standard
But
will
you don't
be
get the
2.
spell shield.
He's a
You
4
have to
mana
do at
5.
least 2.
He's a 4 mana 5/4. And then if you happen to have stuff in your hand that you're like, oh, now he's got impact. Now he's got quick attack. Now he's got spell shield.
Okay,
and you
but-
can like combo with other stuff. So like the floor on him is like ridiculous. A 4 mana 5/4 is
Yeah,
fantastic.
no, the
That's-
stats are good.
I really
Good
don't
card.
think he's a good card until you discard at least 2 cards. Like I don't think a 5 mana
Yeah,
5/4.
he's not
impact is
impressive.
good. Or 4 mana 5/4 quick attack.
Agreed.
or-
Agreed. Not impressive, but not bad. You're not like, oh, well, this piece of crap. You know,
Yeah,
like
you could always
there's,
block.
there's lots of cards that like if they're the worst they could possibly be, they are like really bad, like useless. Like I don't know, even like look at Acel these days. If you can't cast Acel, like it literally does nothing, you die. Maybe that's a bad example, but there's a lot of cards, you know, where the floor is so low. Whereas he's at very worst a top deck 5/4, which is like fine.
Yeah.
Right. And then it just goes up from there. A spell shield, quick attacking, impact 5/4 is like that's a beast on
I think
turn
Spell
4.
Shield is the dream. I think you're gonna do. I think the most common mode on Rumble is gonna be 2 cards discarded.
2 cards, yeah. Attack, quick attack.
Do you guys see the
I
part
have
where
heard-
it gives Rumble everywhere that keywords?
Yes.
So you don't have to do the second
Yeah,
Yeah,
one.
that's a big deal because if your Rumble gets killed, then your next one is still good to go, or if your Rumble gets recalled, it's good to go, so it should be fine.
I want to confirm with you guys because I was like, "There's no way, right?" Rumble is himself a Mecha-Yordle. You can't manifest him, right?
No,
There's no chance.
Okay, because that would be
That'd be
ridiculous.
insane.
Because you can't manifest like Poppy as a multi-region follower off Mayor, right? Like that'd be,
Yeah,
that'd be
she's not a
so
follower,
annoying.
but that's Mayor says follower.
Oh, that's true.
So like I'm assuming it's just not the wording's
There's
not
no
super
way.
clear, but that it's not the case. That'd be
Technically,
insane.
level two Vagar is also going to be listed as a Mecha-Yordle.
Oh, Pog, let's go.
There's no way you can just manifest a level 2 Vagar.
That'd be
That's
so
not,
nuts.
That's not okay.
Howling Abyss.
Manifest a 4-mana win.
I
Pog,
want
that's
it.
exactly what it is. Oh my god, that'd be so funny. The Mecha-Yordles, by the way. Okay, so I say this all the time, but I wake up and I the first thing I do with card reveals is I try to read them, but I just woke up, so my eyes don't work yet. I'm like trying to read. So I looking at my phone and I open up the Mecha-Yordles page because it's the first one. And I was reading these cards and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, these cards are so good.
Yeah.
I got to the 3-mana 4/4 that gets impact twice and I was like, what's going on? Like, what am I missing here?
I think the craziest one is the Noxus one. It's like a 3/8 and it doubles on attack.
Oh, I'm not a huge fan of that one, actually.
I think it's
I think the
so good.
Shurima one might be the best one.
That might be true.
The 5/6
Yeah.
impact that makes 2 Sand Soldiers, that card is
The
nuts.
Demacia one's good too. The
Yeah.
4/5.
I think the best thing about these is like some of these are a little less good, but some are really good. But you're manifesting these most of the time, right? So like
Yeah.
you get to choose which one for which situation, which I think
Mm,
just
that's
like
true.
makes
No,
you
they're
so
insane.
insane.
They're
Well,
nuts.
they're not
so
mostly
insane.
manifested, right? Because most of them are going to be generated by Rumble. We're not going to really see those. I mean, we might see the Mecha.
I think like the burst one's fine.
the burst one is fine. The 1 augment is
The 1-1's
I
fine.
think the 4 mana
alright,
one is
yeah.
pretty okay. Like a 4-mana 4/3 with tough that like gives you a card. That seems fine.
Yeah,
They're
no,
okay.
that's totally fine.
I'm not the biggest.
I'm not
fan.
stoked to play it, especially because like, well, I was gonna say because I want to play Stump Dredger, but you're not gonna play Rumble P and Z, I don't think.
Well,
I guess
you
you'd play
can't go
Noxus P&Z,
Bandle
right? But
P&Z.
like,
you'd probably go Noxus Bandle.
yeah,
Because these are Bandle cards. Like the manifest
Yeah.
cards are Bandle only.
yeah.
So-
No, I actually really like the Mecha-Yordle stuff. I really enjoy pretty much any mechanic that gives me more options.
It should be mentioned, these are multi-region followers, so there might be some Mayor garbage where you're
Mhm.
playing like 4/5s with that buff your whole board for 4 mana. That could be kind of crazy.
I mean,
But-
we like if there's going to be a 2/2 Bandle guy that gives all your Yordles +1/+1, it's
Yeah.
going to be like a Mayor Tristana-esque deck. Maybe not with Tristana, but like that
Yeah.
deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be
And
real.
I'm pretty sure the Mech Yordles also count as Yordles.
they should. I
They
think.
do.
Do they?
They do.
Mecha-Yordles in arms.
Uh,
I think just going back to Rumble, I think my comment to Rumble is beyond his power level, like he doesn't need to be put in a deck with the Mecha Yordles.
No,
which
he
is like
doesn't.
which is like kind of funny at the same time. Like you could just jam it in a deck, he levels, just generates a Mecha Yordle, and then that's fine.
Yeah, he
he's
could be like
completely
Sivir used to
separate
be.
from the
Right.
Mecha
And
Yordles.
just
I
a
don't
stat
know
stick.
how much I like that just because of like how like supposedly like related they're supposed to be. I was hoping like, you know, they have a little bit more like synergy or like relatability towards like a level up condition or something. But that's just like not the direction they're going for, and that seems a little bit strange to me.
Rumble's champion spell is Electro Harpoon, right? It's pretty.
That card's
Yeah,
good.
not
Yeah,
much
Rumble's
more.
champ spell's good, and Pantheon's
That is
champ spell's really good.
Camp
Incorrect.
spell is Flame Spitter.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah,
grant
yeah.
+2 and impact.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no, I was thinking of the other one. My bad.
Harpoon's pretty good.
I was thinking of the pew pew pew. I like Pantheon's champ spell. I know we're on the Pantheon
Grant
hate train
1/1
apparently,
Stein.
but it's like a 2-mana stun an enemy, slow, grant an ally +1/+1.
That's
You get
good.
to cast Battlefield Prowess and Guile at the same time.
Battlefield
It's pretty
prowess
good.
and the first half of Zoe spell, and I'm super stoked. Well, I guess your analogy is better because they're both ones and you put them together and they're two. But yeah, I'm not gonna play the card, but like as a champ spell, that's fantastic, especially because the champ
Sure.
has faded.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
having this has been true with Zoe too. Like having a stun on a champ spell means whenever that champ spell's in play, you have to think twice before you play a big unit, and I think that's very solid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. There's a lot of times I'll be like, this champ spell is insane. I'll never play the card, but like the champ spell is really good, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I like that a lot. The card I don't like is the stupid Ionia 5/5, the 5-mana burst card that makes the 3/2 that gives you a 1-mana card,
and then you
like recall it. Your favorite card.
I've seen some
that's
people
funny.
jump
She
through
who
some
pointed out a
hoops.
card I don't like also. Cam for the Doubt was a huge letdown.
That sounds familiar. I forgot what that does.
It's like
It's
the
the
6-mana 5/4 that if you
5/4.
targeted like 6+ allies, it gets some keywords.
but
like,
the
in 6 different
animation-
Is it 6 different
Wait, no,
rounds?
it's-
That's so
it's
much
not- it's not
worse.
6
Oh my
different-
god!
it's not
And
6
it gets
different
I
rounds.
thought
it
it
gets
was
like
6 different
no,
rounds,
I think it's just 6+
It's just
allies.
6.
It gets like
Okay,
Spell
that's
Shield,
crazy.
Overwhelm, and Challenger, which is like almost good. But I was talking to Jason. I was like, would I even play this card if it was just 6 mana and it had these things? And I was like, no, I wouldn't. Jason
It's
would.
Play
though.
for
wild.
the animation. That's for
The
sure.
animation is hot though. I think
It's
the
wild
card
to me
used
if
to
they-
do something else and they changed it.
Yeah, surely.
I don't know why they gave this card an animation. Like this card, I don't know how often this is going to be seen. Not
Yeah,
very
It's
often.
probably some like game-ending thing, and then they're like, "Oh, this is too good."
She
But
who
it
knows
is
what's
the
up.
worst.
Worst
the worst card, best
best
animation.
animation.
It was super disappointing.
That's
Super
a bingo
disappointing.
tile for sure.
Even its name is super sick. Camphor the Doubt. That's such a baller name. That sounds like a Dark Souls boss.
I mean,
Does
that's
anyone
kind of
know what it
Kazagan,
actually is?
right?
Like
That's
literally,
like
what is it?
Kazagan.
It's like a demon thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's literally like some spooky shadow, like a shade or something like that.
If you
Something
read
like
like
that.
the flavor text,
It's the
there's,
doubt,
like, some
bro. Get
stuff
with
about,
it.
Like, Pantheon having to fight it. I don't know because fighting is doubt. I don't know. There's probably
You know
like,
when
some
you're
shit.
about to go into Cecil's top 32 and you're like, God, I hope I can get past top 4 this one time. That's the thing that's screwing with Henneke. It's the doubt, okay?
Wait, I always feel
It
great. I
comes
never
for
know
you
myself.
in the night.
We got the flames.
Yeah. Hennick is the most confident person I know pre-tournament, I feel like.
Oh God. Yeah.
He should
True.
be.
I always
sure.
feel good going into
Yeah, I'm
tournaments,
like, oh
and
man,
then
I'm kind of nervous. And
whatever
Henneke's
happens,
like, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, got this on lock.
Yeah, easy
Well, when you
peasy,
crush
dude.
everyone all the time, I'd be confident too.
That's fair. That's a good point. Yeah, I just really want Ahri to be good, man. Ionia has the problem where like
I need Ahri to be good just so I don't hear it from you for the next like 3 freaking months. Please, Riot, don't do this to me. Please, God, I can't take it. I won't be able to handle him. You don't know. You
if
don't know what I
Ahri's
deal with.
bad, I will handwrite a letter and send it to Riot.
And then they'll nerf Zoe, and he'll be on suicide watch. I'll have to come over with soup.
I'll
Keep
be,
an eye
How
on
would
him.
you nerf
I'll be
Zoe?
in
Jason, how
LA
would you nerf
this
Zoe?
weekend. If
15
Ahri's
cards.
bad, I will
Oh, you could
find
lots of
Ruben
stuff.
Zoo and like
Oh,
with like a boombox outside and be like, please.
See, I just remember Majin leading up to the Irelia reveal was like, "Oh, Irelia's my favorite champion. I need her to be good. I need her to be good." And then like he just
she
hates
was,
her deck
and it hurt
so
him.
much.
But I hated her deck. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated her deck.
Yeah.
I liked it
I've
for
never
like the
seen
first half
someone
day.
be someone happy to win.
Yeah. Oh my, I was miserable winning with that deck. I loved her for
I-
like 2 hours. And then we figured out the best Aurelia Azir deck on not even on day 1. We figured it out before the rest of the community got the cards. We were just sitting in stream and like we were just all playing Aurelia Azir
Yeah.
mirrors. And that was it. It never changed.
To be fair, it did change. Like
It
the
did change.
lanes
A little bit, yeah.
changed
And then
quite
it
a
changed
bit.
back to the initial one, and then it
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
no, I feel you were.
Did I talk about the Samsung tournament yet? A little bit. I played the Samsung Mobile Monday tournament.
Did you have to play that on mobile?
Yeah. Although
You
I'm
had
like
to?
100% sure they wouldn't have known. Unhelpful
That
Yoda.
was
I
in
played
the
Unhelpful
rules.
Yoda. What's going on?
Oh.
If somebody did win it, you know, and
You
they
have
did
to play it on your
mobile, they should
Samsung.
You have to
probably
play it
say
on
that they-
your mobile phone. And
I see.
so I was like, okay, I'm not going to play it on my phone. And then I thought about it right before the first round. And I was like, okay, but if I win $1,000 and like a phone or a fridge or something, and they're like, hey, we know you didn't play on mobile somehow, that would suck. So the joke with the tournament is first place with $1,000 and also a brand new Samsung device. So obviously it's going to be a Samsung smart fridge. right? That's the joke with the tournament.
Obviously.
And so I did win the tournament. I went 5-0. I played Teemo, Swain, Lux, Poppy, and Scion, which we discussed really early in the show today. The lineup was fantastic. It just ran over the rally decks. And yeah, I had some really good games. Played a lot of cool people. And
Was it single limb?
yeah. So yeah, I took it down. So I'm hoping to get something super cool. One of those flip phones would be super dope. But
Yeah,
unlikely.
Flip fridge.
Or a fridge. A washer machine. Who knows?
Cracks me up.
Ooh, the Samsung washer is
I know.
kind of nice.
I
I've
know.
heard.
So we'll see. But that was
8K
nice.
QLED Samsung TV.
It was
Yeah.
that would be unlikely. It just shows up at my front door. I'm like, what? Big old like 72-incher. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
I think I got
just-
a jet, guys.
You gotta head out. All right, man. Thanks for coming by.
You just use as your blanket.
Yep. Can't believe you 2-mana discarded the arsenal. All right, yeah. So I was playing against Unhelpful Yoda, and I was playing Poppy Lux played Conchologist, and one of the cards was the discard the 2-mana slow spell,
Trixie
discard the
Tentacle.
lowest cost follower, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, this Ziggs Xerath deck doesn't play a lot of followers. If I wait until turn 4. And then wait for my opponent to cast a follower on turn 4, I could probably hit an Arsenal. And so they played something on turn 4,
That's
and
crazy.
I cast it and hit Arsenal, and I was like, yes.
I think I had that played against me once, and I just had no followers in hand, and my opponent just like sad emoted and left.
that has happened to me where I had no followers because I'm playing Lee Sin, and then that's also happened to me where all I have is Eye of the Dragon, and I just lost the game. I was like, that sucks. Yeah, so the tournament was super fun. It was nice to bounce back and get a W after losing top 8 of seasonals. I would like to say I would play in more community tournaments, but I'm not going to. Like, they're so time intensive. This one was single elimination, so it didn't take too long. It was on like the morning of Monday. I didn't have anything to do. But there is a pretty cool tournament series coming up that I've heard whispers of. Possibly Jason
Rumors.
Florent can tell us a bit about it.
So the Runeterra Academy.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
We're all playing in it, pretty much.
Yo, Cephalopod, thanks for the big rate. Man.
Some of us are winning. Some of us are Henneke.
What the hell, man?
Sorry,
on.
I can't. Well, the other two are on my team.
I
Okay,
caught
I
it
don't.
losing. I caught it
Bay's not
losing
winning
too.
either.
I
Bay's
also
not
lost-
winning
I lost
either.
both my
This
games.
one, I
I didn't
guess.
draw change.
Bay 0-2'd. Jason and I had to carry him so heavy.
That's exactly.
Anyways.
what happened.
To the actual thing, though. We're putting on our $8,000 MasteringRuneterra.com championship tournament. Starts this Sunday. What? Let's see. You can go to our Discord. All the links are in there. There's 6 weeks of qualifiers. Each weekend is $500 prize pool. Top 4 qualify for the championship at the end. And then everyone else gets points. And the top 40 point earners throughout the 6 weeks will also make the championship. The championship will be $5,000, 64 players, 2-day event. We're streaming the open rounds on Bay's channel. I think we're streaming the championship on Swim's channel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's also going to be a bunch of Riot giveaways, which we have
damn.
yet to actually nail down. But like things like coins, boards, etc. It does cap at 500 people, and I haven't even really announced it yet. There's already like 75 people
Oh,
on
really?
day one.
I haven't talked
Yeah.
about it at all. This is like the first
I
time
I have
I've talked about
not.
it.
I just put it in the Discord. That's all.
Okay.
And
So jump in,
it's
and then
blowing
I would
up.
advise everyone in the stream to jump in quick because Wednesday will be my first YouTube video for the new decks, and the first thing I'm going to talk about is the tournament, and I'm going to link it. So if you want a spot, make sure you get in. quick.
Also, Riot will be tweeting out about
And
it.
Riot will be tweeting out about it. Yeah, spots will be filling up pretty quick. Can you join and then change decks? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
George,
Yeah,
No,
you
you have
join
to
all
commit
6
your
of
decks
them?
right now.
Right, this
Before
very
you-
second before the cards come out, you don't even know what Ahri does. So if you want to put her in your lineup, you got to roll the
Yeah,
dice.
just throw her in. Throw her
I'm
into
playing
like
three
a
Mega
Zoe.
Yordle decks.
There
Fine.
you go.
Just
yeah.
throwing it out there now.
Week 1 is going to be stressful, like 3 days after cards release, so you have no idea what to play. Neither does anybody else. That's okay.
Nobody knows.
Just play Plunder. Plunder's
Just
so
play Plunder. Yeah, what do you guys think of having a tourney with only unique regions allowed? Oh, region lock? I like the idea of trying out region lock, but this is a pretty big deal for us. This tournament, we've been working really, really, really hard on this, and one of the big things about it is we want more tournaments that follow the structure of what the competitive format is. So for this one, at least, we will be mirroring the like seasonal worlds competitive format.
Imagine like the Legends of Runeterra Twitter tweeting about a tournament that doesn't follow their format.
I couldn't hear you. You were a little too quiet.
Imagine like the LOR Twitter not tweeting a tournament that doesn't follow their format.
Didn't they tweet out the sideboard tournament? I thought they supported that.
I
Yeah,
think
they support
things.
stuff.
Yeah, they support things.
Really?
It'll also be very good practice for seasonals, as these tournaments will lead up right to
the week before is the
seasonal
finals, right?
There's
When
7
is
weeks in
rounds?
this season?
6 weeks and the finals. Yeah, or for
there
our tournament,
a
and then the
season?
8th week is seasonals, I believe.
What?
When is? Do we know the date for the seasonals? When is
It's
that?
in 8 weeks?
The first weekend of February would be my guess.
If we had to take a guess,
If you had no idea,
we had no idea.
and had never been told a word about when the next seasonal would be, you would say it's on the first weekend of February.
I
You're
can't
right.
confirm nor
Hypothetically.
I actually
You
don't
and
know.
the stream.
I'm really hoping Jason knows because I actually don't know what it is.
It will be very soon after our championship event.
Right
Dog?
after. 1 hour after.
Exciting.
Yeah. So we're very, very, very excited about it. It's a really big deal for us, like I said. This is something we wanted to do since like day one.
Yeah, I'm really
And then-
excited for it.
What's up?
I'm
So you're really
excited for it.
I'm excited for you to take 4th. It'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah,
Well,
me
that'll
too.
qualify him.
That would
and then he will
qualify
also
him. Yeah,
win
that's true. That's true.
some
What
money.
happens when
Wait, I
Henneke
only
gets
become
fourth
fourth? What the
at,
hell?
like every single one?
Just every
Like,
single one.
Where did the extra spots go? Like if someone
Can
like,
I hand out
double
spots
qualifies?
to people I want
It-
to hand it out to?
Definitely
Or
not.
what?
No.
He's
Actually,
selling them
we
on
should.
Twitter.
Please
It's
follow and retweet this
additional
tweet.
points earners. So
Oh, okay.
so it's 40 people from the points, and then if there's any double
Go
qualifiers,
down the
41,
list.
42,
Yeah,
43.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That sounds
It's
good.
very
I'll-
seasonals-esque.
I'll
Mhm.
just qualify on different account names, and if anyone's looking for a qualification, DM me. I'll sell my competitive price.
Oh yeah, if you qualify, and I guess as we're saying, you could keep playing to like win that sweet prize money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
cool.
just to play.
Both alts.
Anything else we want to talk about really quick? I'm probably not going to do anything after the Runeterra show. Sorry, guys. Because I'm going to be streaming likely for a very long time tomorrow. So expect me on early tomorrow. Probably like 11, 12 Pacific. And then I'll probably be on for like 8 hours or something, I think.
Nice.
If I like the cards. If Ahri's bad, maybe 45 minutes.
Mm.
That's all you get. I'll just be drowning myself in like Moscow mules. Speaking of,
day drinking.
so you know how they do the little interview thingy for the top 32, and they're like, what does winning mean to you? That was like the question they asked. Well, I said winning would be really nice because I really want to be the first person to win 2 seasonals, and then the $10,000 would buy me as much arcane merch and Moscow mules as I want. And they cut out the Moscow mules part.
I think I want to start saying like really absurd.
I was gonna say, I was like, maybe
things
next
when
time
I
I
do
just
that,
say
just to
like
see what they do.
wild stuff and see what happens. Yeah, be
That
interesting.
became a thing. That became a thing in Magic for a while. You had to fill out the little player profile, and people just got more and more absurd with their answers.
My
Like,
my survey answers are like that. They're like, what do you consider yourself? Like a player, like a tuner, like a technician or whatever. And I like put Dat Boy. And then it's like, do you have any competitive experience? It doesn't have to be in Runeterra. And I put yes, period. Like, they're reading these. Like,
You
what am I
realize-
supposed to do with this?
You realize it's just Casanova being like,
Bro, damn,
Like,
yeah.
Blevin.
I mean, they all
That's
know
always
me,
Yeah,
right?
Blevin.
Like,
that's Blevins reading their responses and writing your player profile.
Prince Golden Narwhal every time as underrated card.
Do you still put
real
Golden
quick.
Narwhal?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't in a while.
Sorry, it's only NA for this league. You can make an NA account if you're not from NA. It's
Americas.
Americas. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
NA is what they call it in league. And yeah,
America Shard.
America's Shard. It's just too difficult to do all the shards now that they're separated and stuff. We're just two men. We're doing our best.
It's impossible. Oh, you
Yep.
mean like have to have a separate tournament for each shard?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God, we're barely.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I want to live.
Yep. All right. Anything else we want to go over really quick?
Brazil can, yes.
Brazil, yes, Brazil can play. Brazil is in the NA one. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Everyone else, I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna find somebody to raid. Who's currently on? Twitch Rivals is on. There's only one person who's playing Legends of Runeterra right now that I see, and that's Nick Makes Plays. So Nick's about to make a raid.
That's one.
Wait, no.
Only one person.
love.
Bro, how you guys shit on like the 15 other people that are in there?
Well, he
because
just
when I
did.
click raid, I only see the top 4. And it's like the people that I follow, and it's like it was like Storybook Brawl, Twitch Rivals, Nick Makes Plays, Mo playing something else. And I was like, okay. All right, everybody. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
How many people are there streaming it right now?
I don't know.
Under
There's a
English,
lot.
there's like
But
16.
like everyone's like Portuguese for the most part.
So under English, there's like 16.
Oh, okay. I don't know any of these people.
And I don't either, right?
I've seen Joey Sticks around.
Yeah, me neither.
Outside of that,
Joey Sticks is Brazilian, right?
Mhm.
I don't even
I don't
see
know
a Joey
anyone.
Six.
I don't know who this Pato Pau guy is, but he has 814 views.
Oh, I had the English one turned on. Okay.
Yeah, same.
Oh, maybe this person streams something else then, because like, yeah, just coming
Yeah.
out with 800 views is
Mm-hmm.
kind of nuts.
All right.
Well, I'm off.
All right,
Peace out,
peeps.
guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Yep.
Later, boys.